Hello, and welcome back to the Heart Artistry Podcast. Today, I have something very special for you. This is a recent training call that I led inside the chamber on the wealthy, delusional woman. So, this month, in the month of July, our theme has been the delusional, wealthy woman, or really like the delusional magic woman. And really, what we've been talking about the entire month has been how can you step into this realm of delusion where you're not just operating from reality and logic and linear thinking. You are operating from this version of you that is extraordinary, that is beyond average, that goes above and beyond. You're all in. You're not just looking at, well, this is what's been created in the past, and this is what feels available to me, and this is what other people have done, and this is what's safe. You are going first, and you're creating a completely different life and reality for yourself because you're willing to and ready and desiring to spend time in the realm of delusion. And the realm of delusion, as I like to think of it, is just it's a realm where you believe in the potentiality of everything, right? Pure potentiality, pure possibility. Like the realm where everything you want already exists. The realm of possibility and potentiality where anything you want is already done. Everything you want is already yours in a different timeline. And then what we're doing is collapsing time between you and that version of you that is ready to do this work, right? Ready to create what it is that you desire. So, inside this call, we talked about the delusional, wealthy woman that is able to create her financial goals, the big income, the big like whatever it is that you want to create financially, whether that's you want to be hitting $10,000 months, you want to be hitting $30,000 months, you want your first six-figure year, you want your first multi-six-figure year, you want to be booked out with your clients, like whatever it is that you're working towards right now, how can we get you there in a faster amount of time, not from rushing or urgency, but because you're so aligned and you're so magnetic. It's like it's inevitable. It's like a no-brainer. It's like of course this is yours. Of course, based on how you've been moving, this is what's available to you, right? So that's what we're talking about today in this call, and I break down 5 different ways for you to bring that most magnetic, most wealthy version of you closer. So listen in, enjoy, hands. I cannot wait for you to experience this training call. I'm going to start off with our training today, which is becoming the delusionally wealthy woman. So I have I have 5 different ways of breaking this down. And this really is going to be more of like a mini masterclass on collapsing time between the version of us that we are right now and the version of us that we desire to be. When we're in this gap, there are a lot of things that can happen with our brain that tells us we're not there yet. It's not going to happen. It's too far away. There's a lot that's happening consciously. There's also a lot that's happening subconsciously, right? So I want to break down the 5 things that I've done and that I consistently walk my clients through when we're moving from the person that you want to be versus the delusional, like whatever goal it is you're working towards right now that you have not hit yet. Whatever that is, that's what I want you to be thinking about. Okay. So, number 1, there is a detached energy that you're in when you're closing that gap and collapsing the timeline, right? The version of you that is creating this actively is not in the state of I want it so badly, and I'm upset that it's not here and that I'm not able to enjoy my life, right? The person that you are stepping into, the version of you that you're stepping into is you are so happy, you're in your joy, you're in love with your life currently. You understand how to have one foot in gratitude and one foot in desire at the same time. You desire to expand, and yet you're also grateful for where you are right now. So, what this could look like is I'm excited to be hitting $20,000 months. I can feel it. I want it, right? I love it. I desire it. I'm not going to stop myself from wanting it and desiring it. And at the same time, I love being at $5,000 months or $10,000 months, right? I'm grateful every single time money comes in, whether it's a $10 payment, a $50 payment, a $2,000 payment. I'm grateful for it. I love that I have a roof over my head. I love that I have Wi-Fi. I'm grateful I have a laptop. I'm grateful for a phone that connects me with most of the world, right? I love that I have these things. I love that I have this body that can move, that can dance, that can do all these things that keeps me alive. So, the first thing, the first thing that we're keeping in mind when becoming the delusionally wealthy woman is that she is extremely connected to her desires. She is ready to build and she loves where she's at right now. Okay. So there is a nuance that isn't just, I need to create this thing and I'm not going to be happy until I create this thing. It is, I'm happy as I'm creating it. I'm in my joy as I'm creating it. I feel good as I'm building it, right? So that's number one. Number two is I'm gonna call this one holding it loosely, right? You're not graspy, you desire it, but you're not banking on it. You're not holding on to it so tightly. Sometimes when we want something and it hasn't happened yet and the milestone still hasn't hit, we get even like we hold on even tighter. Like our grasp becomes even tighter. And sometimes we can feel that in our bodies. Our body literally feels tight when we think about it. It's like, oh, why is it not here yet? This frustration. And then sometimes that leads into, I have to go harder. I have to do more, which actually does the opposite effect. It actually creates repelling energy, right? If you think about it in dating, if you're going on a date with someone where you're like, I need this person to be my person, like, I need this person to be my next partner, the person on the receiving end of that is like, oh my gosh, that is so much pressure. That is such a big energy. It's like your body immediately wants to like take a step back, right? When it's like, oh my goodness, that's a lot. That's a lot. I'm holding a lot, right? It's the same thing with money. When we are like, oh my goodness, I need this to come through, right? Yeah, I said that. Yes. Yeah. That's very like, until we like shift out of it, it's a very common thing. Like that's why dating coaches talk about like in early dating to really let yourself be like very grounded because it's easy to future trip and think about this person and think about this person meeting your family and what are they going to be like? What is life going to be like with them years down the line? Where am I going to take them to this wedding I'm going to a year from now, right? It's like it's very easy to get so caught up in the excitement and the joy and the dopamine, right? And so it's the same thing in our business, whether we want to hit 10,000 followers or we want a certain money milestone or we want 20 people in our new course, like whatever it is that we're creating, it is how can we come back to the state of neutrality? Right? Neutrality meaning like you're neutral. Yes, you still desire it. It doesn't mean that you don't desire it anymore. It just means that you have the desire, but your frequency is not like, oh my gosh, I need it, I need it, I need it. It's like it's calm. It's like, okay, I desire it. And also, what if it desires me? Right? What if I'm always going to be a match to what I desire? So in the dating example, if it's not this person, it's just going to be someone better. If this client says no on a sales call, it's okay. It just means there's someone that's going to come around that's maybe even more aligned or just more ready to jump in right in this moment. It doesn't mean anything about us, right? Our desires are always finding their way to us. So, energetics wise, the fastest way to create money, the fastest way to create the goal desire that you want to call in is bringing it down from the pedestal, right? When we want something, we tend to put it on this pedestal of like, I love this thing. It's going to give me all these things that I desire. I'm going to finally feel fulfilled, successful, whatever it is. And so we put it in this pedestal that makes it feel untouchable, right? Almost like this untouchable milestone that's just so out of grasp. It's like the key to everything we want so badly, but it's just a little, it's like the carrot that's dangling, right? So, what we get to do with this goal, with this milestone, with this desire is can we just bring it down a little bit? Can we just make it, can we neutralize it a little bit? Instead of like, oh my goodness, it's this thing up here that I'm reaching for that is above me and far away from me. Can you actually tap into the timeline? This is what we're talking about on this call is collapsing time. Can we actually be in the timeline of it's already happened? If it's something you desire, that means that there's a version of you that's already created it, that already has it, right? That already has the thing that you created, that already has the thing that you want. So, can you show up as that version of you? Can you be that version of you? Can you feel what that would feel in your body? Right. And then just somatically noticing when your body is clenching, tightening up, right? Scrunching up a little bit, like letting your body exhale and unclench and let it loosen, like let the knots fade away, right? Let it like loosen your grip a little bit. Because the thing that you want, you're not the only one chasing after it. It's also moving towards you. It's also gravitating towards you. It's also being magnetically pulled towards you. You're not the only one trying to grab it and grab it and grab it. It's also coming to you because you are a match. But what doesn't make you a match is when you're in this state of, I need to get it and I need it now. And if I don't get it, it's going to mean something about me. That no longer puts you at a match. A match is you know your value and the thing that you desire knows its value. And that creates a magnet. Okay. That's number two. Number three, in creating the delusional, wealthy version of you. Yeah, Steph, it is the same as desperate energy. That's a good way of putting it, right? It's like this like graspy, desperate, kind of frenetic energy of like, I need it now. I want it to happen now, right? Like that we've all experienced something that we want, but we want it in a very short amount of time. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we're talking about on this call is collapsing time. But if we're doing it from a place of like, I'm not going to be happy until I get it, or I need to hold on so tightly to make it happen. Yes, it's desperate energy with anything that we desire and in relationships as well. Right? I had a mentor once that I worked with years ago when I first started my business, and I remember her telling the story. She's married now, and I think she has two kids now. But I remember her telling this story with her boyfriend at the time, and they were at the point where they were going to get like they were talking about getting married, and she knew that they were going to get engaged soon. But she didn't know when. They didn't talk about the timeline necessarily. They just knew that they were getting to that point of their relationship, right? So she would ask him and bring it up again and again and again, right? Like, is it going to happen? Like, are you going to do this? What about this? What about that? Like, constantly bringing up the engagement from this place of like, yeah, like desperation, kind of graspy energy of like, oh, I want it now. I want it to happen now. And one of the things that she shifted, right? Because they ended up getting into a big argument over it. And one of the things she shifted after that argument was, okay, I'm going to neutralize. It's not going to mean this big, grand thing, right? Like it's going to happen. I'm going to surrender. I'm going to let it be. And in fact, I'm going to be so detached from it that it's gonna want me, right? Like to a point where he's gonna be like, whoa, why are you so detached from it? And that's actually what ended up happening as she was telling the story. It was like after that night, she like dropped it. No more questions, no more desperate energy. She just completely let it go. And so much so to a point where she came to peace with herself that if he didn't end up asking her in like a reasonable amount of time, then she was all right if that relationship didn't even end up like becoming like taking the next step. Like she had that much peace and surrender around it. And when they had this conversation, down the line, he remembers that shift in her and it actually made him want it even more, right? Because she didn't pull away, she was just detached, right? She wasn't like distancing herself from him. She was just like, okay, if it happens, it happens. I'm going to just love this relationship and be grateful for this relationship and where I'm at in my life. And it made him want to propose to her, right? And just like seal the deal. It was like, oh my gosh, now and then he, shortly after he planned it and he did propose and now they've been together for many years, right? But it was this thing where she got so hyper fixated on it. And the moment she realized what she was doing, she was like, oh no, I don't want to be in this energy, dropped it. And then it became even more attractive and magnetic, right? Because now it actually had space. I think of this with clients as well, is like when you really like, maybe you're going back and forth and answering some questions and jumping on a sales call with someone who wants to work with you, but they just haven't said yes yet. I think that sometimes they can feel it when we're like, oh my gosh, I want them to say yes. We're checking the DMs, we're checking the inboxes, like, have they submitted the application? Have they submitted the payment? Like we get so excited because we love this work, obviously. Like I get very excited as well, right? But we can sometimes get so hyper fixated that's just like, oh my goodness. And I do think that our clients can sometimes feel that, especially because, we work with such intuitive people. It's like they can feel that on the other end. And when you give yourself the opportunity to just be neutral and detach from it, not that you don't want them anymore, just that you're releasing them to make a powerful decision, right? Sometimes I literally say it out loud. I'm like, "Okay, I release so and so. I trust she's going to make a powerful decision. I'm just going to let it go, right? I'm going to see what happens and I'm just going to like release it from my energy field." And I believe that that actually gives them the clarity to decide. And it gives them the clarity to be like, oh, wait. Okay, yes, I want to join. Oftentimes, when I've done that, sometimes even within the same day, an invoice will be paid or someone will reach out and it'll be like, okay, yes, I want to join, right? And I've actually even done that when someone has initially said no. And then I've released it and just held the energy of the correct person coming through. And sometimes the same person that says no will be like, actually, you know what? I really do want to do that. Like, that was just self-sabotage. Like, I really want to jump in. Like, let's do it. Send me the link. Right. So, the point that I want to make here across all of this is our energy is it's so much more powerful than we even realize because we're really the ones that dictate the results, right? Like we as the mentors, as the leaders, as the CEOs, like we are the ones that dictate this and that guide this. the results, the outcomes, right? Like the way that things come to fruition. So just keeping this in mind, right? As we're thinking about money, as we're calling in our desires and goals, but also with really anything else in our lives. All right. So number three is your money blueprint, your money thoughts and beliefs. So as homework, I want you to take some time. I want all of us to do this and share with me how this goes afterwards. Write out a list of your current, current, real, raw, honest thoughts and beliefs right now about money. I know that a lot of us have already done this work or something very similar, and you might have done it multiple times where you've gone into your childhood and you've gone into money beliefs from your family, right? Things that you've kind of grown up experiencing, hearing, believing. Ask your higher self, drop into your intuition to just bring forward any thoughts that may not have surfaced yet. So anything that's standing in the way, anything that has like brought up this belief of like, oh, this is why I can't have more money. This is why someone like me won't be super rich. This is why someone who grew up from this town, or because I look this certain way, or because I have this thing, this is why I won't make money, right? Our brain comes up with all of these lies. They're lies. They're not true. They're just lies that this is the reason that I'm not at my next level. This is why I can't make more. Okay. So I want you to list that out. And then I want you to decide for yourself, and you can write this down on the piece of paper as well. I have this, like, I like to put this around my office area and my walls. I'm willing to see this differently. I'm willing to see how money is here to support me. And then I want you to go through each belief and I want you to ask, is this completely, ultimately 100% true? Right? And the answer is going to be no. It's not 100% true. Well, what do you want to believe instead? Right? What do you want to think moving forward? If one of the thoughts that you wrote down was, if I make a lot of money, I'm taking away from others, right? This is something that a lot of us think, especially as women. We'll think, oh, I'm taking away if I have too much. It would be too greedy of me. It would be too much of me, and it would take away from other people. So, what is the reframe of that? The reframe of that is, well, me suffering doesn't actually make anyone else feel better. And in fact, if I'm able to make a lot more money, I can serve the people that I care about, that I want to serve, that I want to be able to support, whether that's people or organizations or whatever it might be. Like I can actually create change if I have money. But if I'm suffering and other people are suffering, it doesn't do anything for them, right? It's not like I'm going to be able to suffer with them so much that they're going to somehow get rich, like, and be able to change their lives. So our thoughts about money run so, so deep. It's one of the most controversial and taboo topics that we have because of all of these beliefs and patterns that we've associated with money. So the more we can get clear on this, not just once, not just twice, but again and again and again, and really create a pattern of being able to look at our money thoughts and our money beliefs, it's going to tell you exactly what you need to know about what you're choosing to believe. All right. So that is the money exercise, is write down what you're thinking currently and be really honest. Like this is not, you don't have to show this to anybody, right? Be honest about what you think about money. What are the things that you think that are just kind of like maybe it'll come up when you're purchasing something, right? You're like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to have enough if I buy this. Or, oh, that was too much. I spent too much on groceries. Now I need to cut back in this other area, right? Like there's no There's no right or wrong. Just notice what your thoughts and your energy is around money. Is it an energy of there's always going to be more? Or is it an energy of I'm always running out, right? This is going to dictate the relationship that you have with money. And then decide for yourself that you're willing to see things differently. You're willing to experience a different reality where things are so much more abundant, right? And then lastly, go through each belief and ask yourself, is this ultimately true? Is it ultimately true that if I have a lot of money, I'll be taking away from other people? No, right? What do I want to believe instead? Is it ultimately 100% true that if I make a lot of money, I'm going to become a bad person because that's what I was taught from my parents, right? No. What do we want to think instead? All right. So that's number three, the money exercise. And then number four is very simple. Get clear on what it is that you do actually desire. Like, how much money do you desire? What would be, if you haven't done the calculations recently, for the life that you want to live, the lifestyle that you want to live, the expenses, everything that you want to have in your day to day, how much is that actually, right? Like, get clear on that number. What do you want to do with this money as it comes through? How is it going to feel for you? And feeling those feelings right now, getting clear on the details, focusing on how it feels in your body. Because one of the most powerful forms of manifestation is sensation, how you're feeling in your body, right? So if you want the 10K month, right? And let's just say the 10K month brings you, like, you know that it would give you joy and satisfaction and peace and pleasure, but you're not focusing it, you're not focusing on that. You're just focusing it on, oh, the 10K month is not here yet. So I feel tightness and stress and worry and feeling like I'm not enough and it's not enough and money's not enough. Then those are the emotions that you end up magnifying instead of the satisfaction and pleasure of the 10K coming in, right? So you always create more of what you're currently experiencing. So yes, even if the 10K isn't here just yet, what can you drop into? What can you feel in your body? Can you choose to feel the joy and satisfaction and pleasure even though it's not quite here yet, because that's actually what's going to be the thing that brings it in. Okay? So number 4 is an exercise on lifestyle expenses. What would it be like to fund the lifestyle that you desire? Like, what is that number? Right? What are you going to do with that money? Envision spending the money. I do this sometimes where I visualize, like, if I'm not able to purchase something yet, I will energetically purchase it in my brain. Like, I will just play with making the purchase even though I'm not doing it in real life, and just imagining and envisioning how that feels in my body, because the way that we feel matters. You feeling good is automatically going to compound more good feelings in your body. You doing the things that set you off and make you excited, whether that's like dancing, working out, going to a pottery class, hanging out with your friends, like getting in the water, jumping in the pool, like us doing these things, it creates this level of joy and energy and vibration in our bodies, right? And so it's the same thing. If you're calling in the amount of money that you want to call in, how does that feel in your body? And can you feel that now? Not when it comes, but right now, so that you call it in. Okay. All right. The last one, number 5, is subconscious protection. So, our subconscious will, if there's something that hasn't happened yet, our subconscious always will want to prevent us from having it because it thinks that it's going to bring forward something that we don't want. So, for example, the reason that you may not be creating, let's just say, $30,000 a month is because we may be worried that our friends and family are going to want to borrow the money, Or you're worried you're going to feel guilty because now you have more and others have less. Or you feel like it's going to be so much responsibility for you that you'd rather just not have the money anyway. Because your subconscious is like, that's so much work that I'm going to have to be so visible. I'm going to have to do triple what I'm doing right now. I'd rather not even do that. So your subconscious keeps you where you're at, right? This is not necessarily a conscious thought, but subconsciously it's like you want to just kind of push it a little further away because it's like, I don't even want the hassle that that's going to bring. Another big one is taxes, right? Like some of us are afraid of paying more in taxes. So we end up pushing away higher levels of income, right? Or like, oh, I don't want more clients that I have to be able to hold because that might create more client issues, more responsibility for me, less time. I have to sacrifice something, right? So that's something I want you to look at as well. Like look at your money thoughts, like I talked about in number 3, but also look at where you may be subconsciously protecting yourself. Like you want to kind of bring yourself in a little bit and be like, I don't want to, I don't want to go that big because I feel like that is going to bring me unwanted attention, haters, clients who leave, a team that I have to now run. And I've never managed a team. I've never managed someone who's worked for me. And that feels like a lot. Okay. So I want you to be clear on what you're afraid of. What is that next level that has not manifested yet into your reality? And is there a subconscious part of you that's trying to protect you from it? Now, here's the thing is like more money is not a scary place to be. But in your subconscious mind, it does feel scary because it hasn't created it yet. So it is labeled the unknown. And anything that is something that we're not used to, it's not our comfort zone, we haven't done it yet, we haven't touched that area yet, it feels like the unknown. And so the subconscious mind immediately is like, don't go there. I don't know what's over there. That's scary. When in reality, creating more money, having more responsibilities, having more clients, like it's going to grow your business. You're going to be able to have a more free life. There are going to be things that you're going to be able to do for yourself, for your family, right? Like there are going to be things that are available to you because of this. But the subconscious mind is fixated on how can this be scary? Your brain is essentially wired to look at how can it keep you safe at all times, right? So when it looks like there's something that yes, you desire it, but what gets overridden, like it overrides the desire is this fear of like I just don't know what life is going to be like, what is going to happen on the other side of that. So sometimes we'd rather keep our goals at arm's length than going all in because of that subconscious fear. All right. So your job is to acknowledge this, reframe it, rewrite that thought and the belief pattern and bust through it so that you don't have these sneaky subconscious shadows and sneaky patterns that come up and essentially prevent you. Like they're all like trying to stand in the way of you and your goal is reachable, but we just have to clear all of that shit that's in between, all of the conditioning, all of the thoughts, all of the subconscious shadows that are trying to keep you safe. And then once that is clear, you and your goal are essentially like magnets moving towards one another. And the last thing that I'll share here before we open for coaching is look at all the times that you have created this in your life and in your business, right? Like there was a time where you wanted to sign your very first client or create your very first offer, post the first thing on social media, sell for the very first time, right? There is a fear in the unknown, and then we get to move through it. We get to pass through it. We get to dissolve it. So we're just doing this. We're essentially doing the same things again and again, just at different levels, right? So now it's not the firsts. It's just we're doing it at a different level. We're doing it. We're like operating on another plane, right? We're not going backwards. It's just there's an added level to what we're doing. Like I think about in my own business, there are roadblocks that I'll come up against in my business. It's been like almost 6.5 years now that I've been in business. I started in 2020, and I'll come up against something and I'll realize, oh my goodness, my brain again is just wanting to keep me safe because it doesn't know what's on the other side of this new chapter, this new season in my life, this new season in my business, this new way of showing up that I've never had to do it in this way before. So it doesn't mean I'm not capable. It just means that the subconscious mind is trying to protect me from what could possibly be on the other side of this rejection, sadness, disappointment if it doesn't go the way that I planned. So that's why our internal world, our energetics, our mindset, the way that we choose to see ourselves and our goals, and the tolerance that we have for big risks and creating safety around our own emotions is so important. It's so needed so that we can become the kind of people that are like, okay, it's ready for me to up level. It's scary as shit. I am terrified. I don't know what's going to happen on the other side. I might be facing potential rejection. I might be falling on my face, right? And this can happen during launches. This can happen during sales. This can happen when we're launching a brand new offer for the very first time, when we're opening up cart open and we want to sign 10 people right off the bat, right? Like this is going to happen at every point in our business, anytime we do something new. And us as the humans, like as the human version of us, we have to be so on top of our brain as well as creating safety for any emotion. Because if we can lock in with our brain, and no matter what we're feeling in here, disappointment, sadness, rejection, we can process it, we can hold it, we know who we are, we're okay, we're going to come back into our power. Then what happens? We're pretty much unstoppable, right? I think of like high performing athletes and like inventors and entrepreneurs and founders who are going against the grain of like anything that any average person is able to do, right? And that is it's such a powerful, expansive way of seeing the world. And when I think about the innovators and inventors and athletes and the people that like they go beyond the call of duty, like they go beyond what is required, right? It's no wonder they're always creating a reality, a world, a life that shocks people. It's like, how do you manage to do that? How do you do these things? Like, it doesn't make sense, and it shouldn't make sense because they are operating on a level that is extraordinary. They're operating on a level that is beyond human. They're operating on a level that is above average. But in order to create results that look like that and a life that looks like that and a reality that looks like that, we have to start internally. It is with this work, the work of looking deeply, looking at our subconscious shadows, looking at our money beliefs, looking at what we've picked up from childhood, looking at what our subconscious is trying to protect us from, looking at our fears and the things that we want to most avoid, right? The gold is in what we're trying to avoid. And when we can create a life where we're not avoiding anything and we're not in fear of anything, then life opens up for us because then we can create something that is just fully, there's nothing standing in the way, right? There's no barriers, there's no walls. There's nothing that is going to cloud our vision and the beeline that we get to create between us and our goals. And that is genuinely that's the point, right? That's why we're here to do what we do. All right. So, wrapping this up, becoming the delusionally wealthy woman and becoming her now, right? This is about collapsing time. This is about becoming the version of us that doesn't have to take months or years, right? We understand that we can create this through intention, through energetics, through identity work, the person that we are becoming, the person we're choosing to be in every single moment. So I'm just going to do a quick rundown. Number one is you're in gratitude and you're in desire at the same time. You desire to keep expanding, right? And you also love where you're at the same time. Number two, you are not graspy. You desire it, but you don't need it. You're not in a desperate energy, right? You're not holding on so tightly that you need it and you've put it on a pedestal. Money does not desire to be on a pedestal. Don't put it on a pedestal that's so out of reach and so out of grasp. Okay. Number three, looking at your beliefs, your thoughts around money, your beliefs around money. What is it that you think? What is it that you believe? What do you want to think now moving forward about money? So, in number three, I walked you through this exercise of writing down all of your real and raw, honest memories, your thoughts, your beliefs, right? And then deciding that you're going to see things differently and then going through each belief and just asking yourself, is this true 100%? What do you want to believe instead? What do you want to reframe? How do you want to reframe that story moving forward? Okay. And then number four is getting clear on how much money you desire, how much money your lifestyle that you desire is going to cost you. What are you going to do with that money? Where is that money going to go? How is that going to feel? And really feeling those feelings now, not when it comes later. And then the last one is number five, which is protection. Where are you protecting? Where is your subconscious protecting yourself and being in like wanting to stay in this level of fear? Because it feels like what you want is actually going to give you something that you don't want. So, getting clear on what that looks like and why that's happening allows you to reframe it and flip it on its head. Okay. So, those are the five things. I know that a lot of you are going to be watching this on replay. So, I want to hear how this goes. I want to hear what you're doing to implement each one of these into your relationship with money. And as you're doing number three, the money exercise of listing out your money memories and your thoughts and your beliefs, what comes up for you and what are the new stories? So, and I also don't want you to just create new stories and then just leave it at that. I want you to create a new story that you actively work on believing every single day, right? It's not enough for me to just tell myself, oh, it's not true that me having more money makes me a bad person, right? I can't just tell myself that one time if it's been ingrained in me growing up that me making money is going to make me a bad person. So it's a thought that I have to keep believing again and again and again until I fully have this anchored belief that, okay, making more money doesn't make me a bad person. Making more money actually allows me to give more opportunities to the people around me, right? But that is an active belief that we have to work on and build and strengthen and master over a period of time. So that's the biggest piece of homework and takeaway from our call today. All right, so that concludes the training call from the chamber as well as this podcast episode. So thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're listening to this episode and you've been listening to this podcast for a while and you like my style of teaching, you resonate with the way that I coach and the way that I lead my trainings, my philosophies, my values around sales and energetics and magnetism. I would love for you to join us inside the chamber. The chamber is genuinely the best place to join right now, like the best space to enter when you enter my world. It is a 6-month sales energetics container that's both one-on-one and group hybrid. So you do get one-on-one calls with me. You also get group coaching calls with me. And I teach trainings just like this one, as well as nearly 100 audio trainings that are available to binge right away inside the chamber portal, hosted on Telegram. Every single month, we do sales workshop weeks, which are group Telegram coaching inside the Telegram portal. And the curriculum is also starting to become available as well. I just dropped the very first module, and that is available once you're inside the chamber on social strategy, sales strategy, product suite, messaging, content, building your business as a world and as a movement that creates sustainability, long-term growth, big income months, and really attracting your best clients. The chamber is a place where you come in and master your sales. When you know how to sell, you're going to have this skill for the rest of your business. When you know how to sell, you make sales every single time. You know how to turn on the faucet to sales. You know how to sell in any environment you're in, whether it's in person, online, creating content, on a sales call, not on a sales call, like any situation, any environment, any circumstance, anything that's happening in your business, anything that's happening in your life. You are fine because you know how to sell, because you know how to create sales. And you know how to do it even in any emotion that you might be in. You know how to sell even as you're creating new offers again and again and again. You know what to tweak. You know what to shift. You know how to evaluate. You know how to go all in and take risks. Sales is the oxygen of our business as coaches. And so learning to sell and learning how to sell very well and master sales is going to change the trajectory of your business forever. And that is exactly why I created the chamber. Everything is focused on sales and wealth energetics for you to be able to have the craziest income ever in your business year after year, month after month. And for you to be able to reach the people that you are designed to reach, your community, your clients, and have them running to you and ready to drop thousands of dollars to pay you. So you can read more about the chamber in the show notes. If you want to just have a conversation about it and tell me where you're at right now in your business, we're going to be working privately together inside the chamber. You get 2 coaching calls with me privately, and then you get group calls with me every single month. So if you want to chat about your business and where you are right now, and if it's a good time to join the chamber, just feel free to send me a DM. We can chat about it. I can tell you a little bit more about it and some of the upgrades that have gone through very recently, some different details, and we can see if this is the right fit for you. And if not, there's no pressure. You know, if you've had a sales conversation with me, there's no pressure. I want to be able to give you the details, help you to make a powerful decision that feels good to you. And if it feels like an absolute yes, then I'm going to invite you to jump in. And if it doesn't feel quite right, that's okay too. I honor your sovereignty. I honor your decision. And all I want is for you to become the most masterful version of you in sales, right? With your sales, with your money, with your wealth, to be able to change the trajectory of your life. My entire life changed when I figured out how to sell. My daughter's life changed. Our lifestyle changed. The house we live in right now, the life that we get to lead, the hobbies, the things that she gets to do, the vacations, the quality of life, like everything that we have been able to create is because of my business, because of sales, because of my understanding of sales, because of my understanding of sales energetics. Like there's something so powerful about knowing how to sell and being able to just strengthen that and master that again and again and again, because this is something that our business thrives upon. So I'm deeply passionate about this, and I want you to become the most confident and convicted salesperson ever, because I know what you have to sell and what you have to offer, and your programs and your services are out of this world and are ready to be experienced by everybody. So, you knowing how to sell it and master your sales is my number one priority. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can send me a DM on Instagram. I'm at tiffanychung.co. So you can just shoot me a message there. The link is in the show notes to read more about the chamber. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this coaching call replay, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.